Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing well. This is going to be a follow-up to my Zumoners TCG opening where I have a battle between two decks I've built from the contents of my packs, and I'm going to show that battle now. So we've got on the top, there's a Fire and Earth deck that's going to be led by the Pyromancer here, who has an ability that lets you pay 2 fire energy to destroy one of your opponent's shields. Shields being the life force of the game. You have to destroy your opponent's shields, and then once all of them are destroyed, you have to attack one more time to win the game. Bottom player is going to be playing a water and light deck, and they are led by the Gatekeeper, who has an ability that lets them turn a card from their hand into a shield for 2 water energy, so the opposite of the Pyromancer who destroys shields. The water leader can heal the shields. So I've already done the setup. I've got all the cards drawn and all the shields set up. So let's take a look at the opening hands here. So you can see that the fire player has charcoal beetle, a couple of them, an iron golem, a fireball for destroying a shield, and a combination. You'll also notice that the fire player has like a second deck off to the side here. This is an extra deck that contains a couple of combined creatures. So basically what you do, you play those. If you have their materials that are listed on their card, you can then play a combination and then lay their materials on top of each other, then play the combined creature, and you'll have a new creature put into play. So maybe we'll see some of those. The water and light deck has a trick of its own. It has a full creature it can play. So I wanted to try to showcase those mechanics. Maybe we'll see them in this battle, maybe not. But I've already shuffled the decks. Going over the water deck, they've got a couple of cheap light creatures they can play. They've got a couple of spell cards and actions. Now, normally when you're playing a game, you can take any number of cards from that you've drawn and put them into your shields, and then you redraw those cards. But just for the sake of speeding things along, I don't think I'm going to do that. And also, I'm already going to determine the Pyromancer is going to go first. But if you go second, you get a one-time use energy card from your energy deck. And then when you use it to pay for a cost, it'll go back to your energy deck where you can play it down like normal later on in the game. So second player is going to choose to put a water energy into their hand for their temporary energy. So starting off, fire player's going first. Now, typically when you start, you take all your cards turned sideways, which are your turned cards, and then you turn them face up to make them unturned again. Then you have a choice between either drawing a card from your deck, or you can choose a card from your energy deck, put it into play. And I think the wise move would be for the red player to take a energy card, put it into play. They're going to take that fire energy, put it down. And so, to play a card, you spend a certain amount of energy equal to a card's cost. They have a card they can play for 1 fire, and they're able to put it down. So they're going to spend 1 fire energy to put a charcoal beetle into play. Creatures have attack on the left, defense on the right. When they attack, they use their attack power, but they can also, when they block an attack, they use their defense power. Well, I'll illustrate that when I actually battle with the creatures, but for now, since this is the fire player's first turn to play, they're not going to be able to attack anyway, so that creature will stay there. So now it's the second player's turn. They're going to opt to put a energy into play. They're going to take a light energy, put it into play. And they're going to spend their energy on a lightning lizard who has 3 attack, 1 defense. They're also going to take their 1 water energy, put it back into their deck, and they're going to put this coral reef into play, which is a field card. at the end of their turn, they can turn any fish creature they control face down, which basically kind of makes them considered not on the field while they're face down, so it can be pretty useful. Now they can go on to the attack, so the lightning lizard is going to attack into their charcoal beetle. It's 3 power compared to the charcoal beetle's 1 power, and so charcoal beetle will be destroyed and sent to its owner's discard pile, like so. So now it's back to the red player's turn. They're going to unturn their energy, and they are going to choose to put another energy into play instead. They're going to take another fire energy, put it onto their field. And they are going to choose to spend their 2 fire energy on a fireball, which states that you just destroy one of your opponent's shields. So spell cards, you do what they say, they go to the discard pile, and so Pyromancer is going to destroy a shield with the fireball spell, and so when you destroy a shield, the person being attacked takes that shield, puts it into their hand, like so. And that'll be the only thing they can do on their turn, so they're going to pass it over to the blue player. They're going to take another energy down. They're going to get a water, so they have both their colors. The blue player is also going to pay their light energy to get a Glassstone Tortoise into play, who's a 1/3. And then they're going to go to attacks. They're going to send their lightning lizard at a shield, and it will destroy it. And then their Glassstone Tortoise is going to destroy another shield. And that'll do it for the blue player's turn. Red player's going to go. The question is, do they want to draw or do they want to charge their energy? I think they're actually gonna choose to put another energy down. They're gonna put an earth energy onto their field this time. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna play a charcoal beetle for 1. And then they're going to spend their other 1 to play a burn and attach it to their charcoal beetle, which if it's attached to a fire type creature, it gets a +1 to its power. So they're going to do it like that. And so they're going to attack here. They're going to send their charcoal beetle at the lightning lizard, destroy it. Since it only has 1 defense, and it's turned to the side, and they use their defense in combat. And so that's going to do it for the Pyromancer's turn, and it will be the blue player's turn. So they're going to unturn all their cards, and blue player is also going to opt to draw a card this time. They have a pretty interesting card they can play here. They're actually going to play they're going to pay 1, and they're going to play their trap plant to destroy that charcoal beetle on the field. Like so. So that's gone. And now the field is open for the Glassstone Tortoise to attack, and they're going to do just that. Destroy another shield. Get them that much closer. Red player's going to come in. They're going to unturn their energy. They're actually going to still put another energy out to play. They have another idea they can do. They're going to put another earth energy into play. They've got a pretty big turn coming up. They're going to spend their 2 earth energies. When playing a creature of a certain element, you have to use only energy of that element to play it. So they're going to use that to play this Iron Golem, a 5/5 that states that once per turn, if this creature would be destroyed when blocking an attack, you stop its destruction. Very powerful card. It's definitely the most powerful card on this field right now. Pyromancer is also going to activate its ability once per turn. So they're going to spend 2 fire to do just that. And they're going to get a card. the blue player, that is. Iron Golem's going to go in for the attack. They're going to send it to the Glassstone Tortoise, who's going to get destroyed. 5 attack on a 3 defense. That'll do it. Alright, it's back to the blue player's turn. They're going to add another energy to their field. They're going to put another water energy into play. They're going to put down a Static Sheep, who's a 0-cost 0/2, so they're going to at least have some defense, and they're going to opt to spend a 1 water, 1 light to play a Slithering Plant to destroy that Iron Golem on their opponent's field. So that was definitely a good play by them, and so they're going to just get set up and be on their defensive here. So it's back to the Pyromancer's turn. They're going to end up drawing a card this time. The Pyromancer's going to pay 1 earth to play an Earth Golem. And they're also gonna choose to activate their ability to destroy a shield. So they're gonna get a shield, and they're gonna get one of the water players gonna get one of their shields into their hand. Earth Golem's gonna attack here. They're gonna send it at the Static Sheep, and Static Sheep's gonna be destroyed. 3 attack on a 0 defense, and that's going to do it. Back to the blue player. They are going to opt to draw a card. Got a decent card. They're going to spend their 1 on a Lightning Lizard. And I think what they're going to do is just pass the turn. Right now it's tied. Both sides have 2 shields apiece. So red player's going to unturn their cards, and they are going to opt to draw a card. They got a Puffing Cat, who states if their leader is fire type, they get to reduce the cost of this card by 1 while it's in their hand. So it's basically a free card since the leader is fire. So moving on to the attack, they're going to opt to put their Puffing Cat into play just so they have another defender. And they are going to attempt to attack with their Earth Golem. Now, I didn't cover this a lot, but another thing you can do on your attack step is that the defending player can choose one of their unturned creatures to block an attack. I don't think this is a pretty good example of how they can do that. However, the blue player has another card they can play. They're going to spend 1, and they're going to use their energy shield here to stop that attack. And so they're pretty much stopped in their tracks. And then they're going to go so after their attack, you actually have a second main phase. So they're going to move on to the second main phase. And the Pyromancer is going to pay 2 fire to destroy another shield. And the water player just got a pretty powerful card if they're able to get it onto the field. And they're going to pass the turn. Blue player unturns all their energy. They're going to opt to put another water into play. And they're going to immediately spend their 2 on a very powerful Icicle Fish. It's 5 attack, 2 defense, and it has the ability to attack your opponent's shields directly. That's a very powerful card on their side. And at the end of their turn, they can actually turn any fish creature they control face down. So after he attacks, he could potentially turn him face down and make him untargetable, which is pretty powerful. So they're going on. So the blue player is going on to their attacks. Icicle Fish is going to attack into the shield, and Pyromancer doesn't want to have that, so they're going to block with the Puffing Cat, who's just going to end up being destroyed. Lightning Lizard's also going to get an attack, and do they want to? I think they're going to just keep it right there for now. And so they're going to pass the turn. And the red player is going to draw a card again. They got an Ant Queen, who is a 5/2. It increases the power of all of their ant creatures on the field by 1, although they don't really have any ant creatures they can use. Even so, they are still going to put that creature into play. They're going to spend their 2, put an Ant Queen into play, and they're going to move on to their attack step. They're going to attack with their Ant Queen, attempt to destroy the Icicle Fish. Blue player's going to block that attack with their Lightning Lizard. Just going to eat it. Earth Golem's also going to attack the Icicle Fish. It's going to be destroyed as well. So the second main phase of their turn, Pyromancer is going to use the last 2 of their energies to take the last shield, and now the Gatekeeper is open for the final attack, and if they get attacked one more time, they lose. So now it's back to their turn. They're going to end up just draw a card here. Fortunately, they didn't really get much they can use. They're going to try to actually play this Surfacing for 3 water, which allows them to free play a water-type fish creature from their deck. They need to get something to try to defend themselves. So they can free play any water-type fish, which I think what they're going to do is they're just going to take this Sea Kraken here, and they're going to play it down. Because they need a something, and that's probably the best they can hope to do for defense. And they're going to keep the defense on. They're going to keep it at... They're just going to pass their turn. Back to the red player. Red player is just going to draw a card. They get a World Tree, which is very powerful. It allows them to unturn all their Earth energy. So the red player is going to choose to just turn their Earth energies. They're going to play a double strike on their Ant Queen, which allows them to make an additional attack on the turn. So they're going to do just that. They're going to move to attacks. They're going to attack with the Ant Queen, which the Gatekeeper's actually going to pay their 1 light energy to stop with an energy shield. But the Ant Queen gets another chance to attack, and so they do, and so it's 5. And so the Sea Kraken and the Ant Queen both get destroyed, since it's 5 attack on a 5 attack. And then for the final blow, the Earth Golem of the Pyromancer gets to attack directly, and then the red player wins this game. And that about does it for my demonstration of Zumoners TCG. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about the game, or if you have a moment that you like, be sure to leave a comment. And if you enjoyed this particular video, please leave a like. Lets me know you enjoy this type of content where I play other HTCGs on camera. I'll see you in whatever video I upload next, and take care.